that they're frozen. Please don't slice your fingers off. They're not a delicious food additive. No, but they would go well with the red sauce, and just pop the tips right in the pan. They'll be fine. I would have just bought and used cut frozen corn. Fellas, I thought about it, and Gwen went to the store before dinner today to get some things, pineapple, and I asked her to get frozen corn, and if she'd have come home with it, I probably would have used that. They didn't have any though. Corey, enjoy your lark. Yeah, you have to scald the fresh tomatoes and skin and core them if you're going to make a good tomato sauce, which I just don't want to do. Yes. I like to make corn broth with the cobs and make midwinter corn chowder. Amazing. Yes. I made corn pudding with the cobs over the winter this year. It was amazing. You cook the corn in milk. You cook the corn in milk, and then you use the milk. You don't actually use the corn cobs for that. It's just like, here, cook all this corn in milk and then do whatever you want with the corn. So we ate it that night. Corn cooked in milk, delicious. Delicious. Does this black match? I love that. Megan, welcome in. What nail color? This is orange. Orange, either orange sherbet or traffic cone orange, depending on which 7-year-old in my life you're talking to. I process tomatoes exactly once for sauce. What a pain. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself right now that I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll run this little like slop over here through the food mill um to get some of the chunks out of it. I actually think I might do that because that would be nice. Um, Let me finish getting the other stuff together though. So garlic, tomatoes, and grape tomatoes are in there. Pineapple's in there. Topping is going to be parsley, chives, and cheese. So let's get some of that out. Parsley and chives are in here. Cheese is in here. Shrimp, my shrimp, by the way, is thawing on the counter. You can see this little bowl right here. This has shrimp in it. It's going to be I pulled it out right before stream. It was completely frozen, so I'm just giving it a good amount of time to settle into being not frozen, if possible. Okay, so cheese, parsley, and what else did I say? Chives? Chives? Let's put the cheese in there. Cheese, parsley, chives, then everything else should be pretty much ready. Okay, immersion blender, that might work. That would definitely work. I don't think there's enough liquid in there to immerse. I don't think it would immerse very well. The liquid in there is less than an inch. Um, but that would definitely would be a good option. I was only thinking of the food mill because we were talking about making sauce, and that's one of the things that one might use for sauce. Okay, cotija cheese. So I said I'm trying to make an al pastor pasta. So little of this type of cheese is just going to go on top instead of Parmesan. Ooh, this is a stinky cheese. I like it. Okay, what did I say? Cheese in here? Yeah. And this just gets crumbled. Whoa. This is a very crumbly cheese. Um, Plus Wi-Fi is actually working today. Isn't that amazing? Oh, 1 out of 365 ain't bad. Okay. A little cheese. I think that's probably a little bit more than that. Yeah. 'Cause I'll eat a bunch of cheese on top of this. And I have to remember this is pasta and not a taco. So there will be a need for more cheese. And they'll probably still want shredded Parmesan cheese on here, despite everything. So, all right, let's see. Give this a little stir. Yeah, I'm gonna put this through a food mill and just see what's up. Once I'm finished with this prep here. So, where is my There we go. Sandwich bags. The drawer is fighting me here. Um, Pack this back up. Where am I at time wise? 18:26. All right, we're gonna be finished a little after 7 today, um, which is fine. Let's not add. I said I wanted to use the food mill. Let's not add any more to this after that. So if I say I want to add something else after that, someone be like, "Hey, don't do that." Um, all right, parsley and chive. A lot of chives this week. I had leftover chives from last week, and I bought some more. So we need to use chives in every meal this week. Big Teddy, enjoy your evening. Thanks for coming through. Dream of tomatoes. Yes. I hope your tomato dreams are bright. Okay. Start with the parsley. Start start with the parsley. Easy peasy. All right. So this is just going to be toppings. It's going to take a few minutes to roll out the pasta, but like kind of once I'm finished with this, it's a pretty easy timeline to the end of this meal because the shrimp is going to cook quickly because it's shrimp, and the pasta will cook in seconds because it's fresh pasta. So the only big thing left is rolling this out once I'm finished my prep here. And I hope that doesn't take too long. I decided I wanted to make like pappardelle style noodles today, like the big thick ones. I've been trying to make more. The last couple times I made pasta, I made like fettuccine sort of thickness, but I want like big thick noodles today. No particular reason. I was just thinking about them. I saw a recipe for totally unrelated that had pappardelle in it over the weekend, and I was like, "Oh yes, yes, please." So that's the motivation here. All right, so these couple pieces don't want to cut. They can just go right in the compost. All right. Last thing I said was running this through a food mill. So let's do that real quick, and then we'll toss it back in the pan. If anybody is, if anybody remembers the debacle with this thing last time, let's not bring it up. Okay, it's a very traumatic experience. So we're gonna keep that under wraps. Trader Joe's pappardelle is pretty good. I bet Trader Joe's many things are very good. Many Trader Joe's things are so good. Okay. I said I wanted chunks in here, right? I said like, hey, I want to get a sauce that's got like some chunks. But as I'm looking at this, I kind of don't. I want just the flavors, and we'll let the shrimp, and then I'll probably toss just a couple fresh pineapple chunks in here. Um, and then the corn. That'll be good. So let's just get the actual like solids processed out here. And this is a bit, like I said, this is a bit too shallow to use an immersion blender. If I was using a smaller pan, I could, but this is not quite the venue for it. All right, that's a little There we go. Yeah. What I really wanted, my goal in this, for what was in this pot so far, was to have an additional bit of sauce to go along with the al pastor marinade that I already have. So I don't need this to be like a full on enormous pot of sauce. It just needs to be enough to augment the what I have, which isn't quite enough. So I'm trying to keep this. This is very tomatoey and garlicky, which matches the al pastor sauce. And otherwise, I'm trying to keep this pretty straightforward. All right, this is looking good. The amount of dishes you have to wash each night gives me anxiety tremors. Well, you know what, Fish Stick? You know what I do? I really try to use things that only use things that can go in the dishwasher. So my actual like level of dishes to wash most nights is pretty good to hand wash. I do a load the dishwasher. I load every day, and the dishwasher runs every day. Okay, this is good. So awesome. I've got all the solids are in here still, which is fantastic. I don't really want those. And I've got a good sauce from all the juice and all the stuff that came off of that, which is what I was hoping for. Yes, that's really good. All right. And that's not too fishy either. Not too fishy. There's just I think there's like just the right amount of fish in here. What it could use is a little more pineapple. I don't think I put enough pineapple in. So I'm going to put a little more of that pineapple juice in here and put this back on the stove. I'm not going to turn the heat back on here yet because I don't want this to simmer down to nothing. I've got a good base here now. So I'm just going to let that sit here on the stove for a little bit. Cool, cool. Those pots and pans are and turny thing can't go in. The turny thing can't go in. The pots, I put the pots in there. I put this pot in the dishwasher. I don't know if you're, I don't know if you're, I don't know if you're supposed to put it in the dishwasher. They do. Things that don't go in the dishwasher are um, knives and plastic things. So like all this stuff that's on the counter here, the only thing that won't go in is the knife and the cutting board. Okay, so sauce is good. Let's do this now. Here's what I want to do next. I'm going to get the shrimp ready. So this is just a bowl of shrimp that has been thawing. I'm going to get let's see, a clean bowl over here. Yeah. I just want to get this out of here and into a clean bowl. Let me take the tails off of this. We are, it's funny. I put this in here to defrost, and like it usually does, it froze into a chunk, but the shrimp itself is thawed. I don't dishwasher pots purely because they take up so much room. True. Sometimes I don't either. And sometimes that big pot, the pasta pot, I often don't put that in the dishwasher. But what I do with it is I will hand wash it and then put it in the oven. Like I'll leave the oven on. And I'll put it in the oven so it dries and doesn't take up room on the dish rack. It's the dish rack that's the problem. So I definitely do that. I do that with sheet pans too. Sheet pans, hand wash, dry in the oven. Those are the first things. The dishwashing routine starts with all the stuff that goes into the oven, and then the other stuff. And then when I'm done the other stuff, I put the stuff in the oven away. Okay, so we've got uh 15 shrimp here, something like that. What's wrong with being fishy? Fish Stick asks. Sorry, I missed that one. Nothing. Nothing at all. It was good. I wanted it to be fishy. I put the Carla, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I almost just tossed a good shrimp into my compost bin. But like this glass ball, dishwasher. So I don't mind using dishes as long as they don't have to be washed by hand. I think that's my sentiment about them. All right, so let's get this al pastor marinade on here. I didn't want to put this marinade on too soon on the shrimp because it has vinegar in it and it will start to cook the shrimp because it's seafood and that's what vinegar does. So I didn't want to marinate these for very long. So now I'm at the point where the only other thing I need to do here is roll out my pasta. So I am going to do that. First, though, I was thinking about the toppings here. And because this isn't going to have any pineapple chunks in it, because I just took them out, I'm going to cut up some pineapple pieces for the topping. And I was thinking about al pastor tacos and whether or not I should put avocado on top of this. So I have an avocado. Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that would work. But I'm thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. The thought just popped into my head again. Um, yeah, but back to the idea of the dishes, they definitely give me a bit of anxiety too. Though there are days when I finish stream and I like look over here and I'm just like, what an absolute disaster. But that's life. Okay. So all of that. Um, I wanted to cook the shrimp. I'm going to cook the shrimp in there. I'm also going to cook the corn in there. I might as well dump the corn in now. Yeah, I might as well just dump this corn in there now because it's all going to get cooked eventually. And I might as well just dump that in and let that start thawing. It was still pretty frozen. Last of the summer corn. Summer 2022 corn. All right. And that, I believe, will do it for my meats. That only took an hour and 40 minutes. Not really. I was doing other things. A little bit of butter. So a little bit of butter to finish the sauce. When we're right about towards the end. Okay. Good. Now, let's recalibrate. Add some of this to the shrimp, and then I'll add the rest of this to the saucepan. So just a little bit of this I want to put on the shrimp because this is going to cook in that same sauce anyway. So I don't really need to marinate this too much. And it will start to cook in this. So like I said, I don't want this to be in here for all that long. Okay, that's good. Now this, I'm just going to dump in with this. And we have an al pastor sauce. Now the color here should change a ton because this is just dark, dark, dark. Yes. Oh my God. All right. That is that is just enough pasta sauce, I would say. Perfect. Okay. While that is just existing over there, I'm gonna roll out this pasta now because we need to eat. So let's change what we're doing here. Reset this counter real quick. Shrimp can go over here. This pan or whatever this is, the cutting board. It's not a pan. Can go there. And you here All right, let's roll some pasta. Let's make some pasta. Definitely need a bench scraper and good to go. Okay, I'm going to do this by hand as we've been doing because it is more easily, it's easier to control, and I actually find it to be a little quicker. Wow, this is nice. Here we go. Okay, I just unscrew this a lot, and so it's like, there we go. Okay, good, good. All right, things that I need. I need a cutting board to cut the noodles. I need a knife to cut those noodles. I need some flour for this. And I need my pasta dough. Okay, pasta dough is going to get cut into 4 pieces, and then we're going to roll. Oh, I also need a sheet pan. What are you guys talking about dishes? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't use hardly any dishes. What do you mean? Uh, just kidding. Use a lot of dishes. Sheet pan. So can be for the fresh pasta once I'm finished with it. And then this guy needs to get cut into 4 relatively equally sized pieces. They've never actually been equally sized, but they are, uh, you know, 490. Okay, so that's not that's there's a decimal in there. 122.5. Okay, so I want 122.5 grams per piece. Okay, how's this? 126. Perfect. 125.5. All right. 120 and 118. Okay, so we've got a couple that are under, 2 that are over, 2 that are under. All good. Let's wrap up these other ones while we're working on the first one so that they don't dry out. And then I will roll out the first one here. Okay, these are looking good. These are looking good. The feeling I like the consistency of these. I let them sit. They sat for a little longer than half an hour, and they're feeling pretty good. The dough is starting to. It feels very smooth. I really like. This is looking pretty good. Okay, so we're just going to get started here with first one, and flatten this just a little bit so we can get it through the first round. And starting with a one, one's looking good. Don't need that anymore. And let's go through again with a one. How are we doing? Perfect. One more fold. Some folding this and then putting it through. Folding it in thirds and then putting it through the one. All right. That's good. One more round. One more round through of that setting. Oh, cool. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go flatter. Go for a 2. There we go. 2. 2 looks good. 3. 4. 5. Yeah, these are getting longer. So 5. This goes up to 7. I think I'm going to take this one to. I'm going to take this one to 6 because I like a thick. I like a thick noodle. I like a noodle with some bite to it, some like toothsome. A very toothsome noodle is my preference. So we're going to get some good noodles out of here. All right. 6. So this is going to be. Let's do two things of noodles. 3. Let's do 3. 3 sheets of noodles. A little bit of flour on here. Right. Flour, and then, hello, Glenn. And then we're going to cut these up into thick pappardelle style noodles. And set these over to the side. So big, thick pappardelle type noodles. Right. So one sheet down, 3 to go. These are a lot thicker than the ones I've been doing. So these are like big, chunky. This is one noodle. So you're actually going to end up eating. I'm going to end up eating a lot less noodles, not numerical wise, but I like these style noodles. They're good. They're fun, and when they cook too, they puff up even bigger. So they're like these huge, chunky noodles. Okay, these are all good. I'm unfolding these. I'm going to toss them together with a little additional flour, and then we'll move on to the next round. So it's definitely been getting easier. Pasta, I think, in general, I've made a couple times on stream now, and it's been getting, I would say, getting easier, the whole process, and better. So let it be known that practice is helping. Okay, so the big pile 1, essentially, noodle pile number 1. Let's go. Let's get noodle pile number 2 in motion here. Back to thickness 1. Perfect. One more fold here, and all I'm doing with this is just tri-folding these before I put them through, and trying to like straighten them a little bit, like get the edges lined up with each other so that they come out in like a little bit more of a square. If I was trying to do this for visuals, for like the visual appearance, I would cut this sheet off at the top and then at the bottom, so I just had like a perfect rectangle. I'm not doing this for visual. This is just home. We're eating these at home. I don't really care too much if some of the noodles are shorter than others or whatever. So you could, though. You could care. I don't. Not that much. I would love it if they were. I'm fine that they're not. I brought that same pasta roller around Christmas time. I love mine. I love mine too. This is great. I I got this from my mom. She texted me randomly one day and was just like, "Hey, I have this in my basement. You want it?" And it was a picture of this, and I was like, "Yeah, I do. Yes, please." Because I have the KitchenAid one that goes on the top of the KitchenAid, but I have a couple issues with that one. Um, the primary issue I have with that one is that it's automatic. It can't You can't stop it. So when you get a piece of pasta and it's like getting sucked in and you're like, no, 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 that's crooked. It's just like there's nothing you can do. Whereas this thing, you're like, oh, that's crooked. Let me just back this out a little bit and we'll start over. Like, no problem. So I like that the most. I think that more than anything is what I like about this particular roller is the margin of error. Human error is a lot more forgiving. It makes it slower, but slower is in this case is a good thing. If you really want, you could buy a motor for that model like you have right there. Yeah, I did not know that. I'm sure you could. I do not want a motor for this. The motor was the problem. The solution has been the manual process, which I've enjoyed. I like I don't mind a little manual work for this. Uh if you want a fun social media account to check out, Pasta Grannies is a good one on Instagram. Probably on TikTok too. I'm sure they came from TikTok. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, and uh, you know, so pasta grains. No, good one. Can recommend. Highly recommend the pasta grains. Can see some good techniques there, if nothing else. I like doing it by hand. Like I often do the majority of my breads by hand as well. I There's something about the hand process that is just very satisfying. Like I can absolutely see why you might want to make it manual. If you were making like a volume, for example. But for this, I mean, I'm making pasta for eating at home. Like, need to there's no need to make this into a more complicated situation. Pasta grannies rocks. Excellent. See, they're fun. It's fun. I like pasta grannies. There's another one that I really like called the old gaze. That's really funny. Uh, I really enjoy. Here's the thing that I kind of enjoy. Is a weird niche enjoyment, but I really like when folks that are older, like older people, and I say older. I'm 38, so older than me. Uh, I really enjoy like social media accounts of people that are like in their 60s, 70s, 80s, like just like doing fun stuff, and I think it's great. I enjoy it a lot. I like the Pasta Grannies account for that reason. Okay, pile number two, finished. Pile number three, coming right up. Doing things with my hands is a form of Zen. It is really relaxing. I totally feel that, Lois. That is my, uh, I can definitely understand that. I enjoy a little manual process for things like that. Um, I turned my pasta water off. Let me turn it up again because or I turned it all the way down to simmer. Let me turn it up again because this is the part where I'm going to want it in like a few minutes. And if it's not ready, I'm going to be like frustrated. You have every single kitchen gadget. I do have quite a few. I do have quite a few. Although I will say there's quite a few that I could still acquire. There's always more. There's always more. No more one-time kitchen, no more one single-use kitchen gadgets unless they're super important. Husto, thank you for the follow. Raviolis never get invited to hang out because they are a little square. Husto, thank you. Good one. Speaking of satisfying to make by hand, raviolis satisfying to make by hand, extremely satisfying to make by hand. Have done that before on stream. Is fun. It's fun until hour 3, and then you're like, "Is this over yet?" Any air fryer? I do not have an air fryer. I do not have an air fryer. I feel like the world at large has been guilting me into getting an air fryer recently. I listened to a podcast the other day that was talking. It was a they were talking about it was an old episode that got re-aired that was talking about an air fryer, and then they had another episode that was new, all about air frying, and I was just like, come on, I don't have one. They're just easy and cook better than a microwave. Yeah, I am almost there. I'm almost there. I feel very close to an air fryer. I feel very close to an air fryer, and let me tell you what's kind of tipping Megan. Megan, that's funny. Anyway, the podcast I was talking about, there's a link in chat. There is the motivating factor for me, I'll say at the moment, one of the biggest motivating factors is that I would trust Calvin to use the air fryer before I would trust him to use the oven. And so I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, if we can heat stuff up if we can get something that's like an air fryer slash oven, like mini oven, do you know what I mean? That would be ideal, because then I could do, like, he could heat up breakfast stuff. He could do a lot more at home. I love mine, but also it has a dehydrator, which was a huge plus. That would be a huge plus. I would dehydrate stuff. My very first Instant Pot was the first production model, and it was horrible. The newer one is great. I don't know what version mine is, but it is all my Instant Pot. It wasn't one of the first ones. I know that. And I was reluctant to buy the air fryer, but it does cook some things really well and really fast. Yeah, I know my Ninja XL is a 10-in-1. 10-in-1. Amazing. Yeah, I feel like where I'm at in life right now is I'm on the cusp of like finding a good one. It's like finding one that will work for the things that I want it to do. Because I know they're out there. I've never researched one though. So don't need a toaster anymore. Yeah, that's what I'd see. We don't have a toaster either. If I'm like, I want to make toast, I literally get out a toaster, or I do them in the stove or in the oven, or like in a cast iron pan. I'll just like toast in a cast iron pan, which is a little bit backwards. I'm unimpressed with our air fryer, but it's something my grandparents probably got for free and said I could have it. Perfect. Then it owes you nothing, and you owe it nothing, and that is a good way to be. I'm one person, so the smaller basket air fryer is fine. If it was more than 2 of us, I would buy one with a larger basket. Yeah, I'd like one with some room. I don't want to batch make stuff, if that makes sense. I'd like to make enough tater tots for my whole family, for all 3 of us in there. Like, I'd like to be able to drop a whole bag of tater tots in there without thinking about it. That's one of the goals. Ours is several years old and works great. CJR has the same one. All right. I also don't have a toaster. I make toast in a cast iron too. Yeah, see, and you know what? It's quicker. It's literally quicker than getting the toaster out. I think the bucket air fryers are trash. Mine has different shelves, like a wire rack, a basket, and a flat metal shelf. Yeah, that's where my head is at. I would like something that is like multi-purpose. Getting rid of the toaster oven is, or I would love to have a toaster oven to start with. Like that's what I want is a toaster oven. So I'm thinking like if I can get an air fryer that serves that purpose too, then I will then I'm in the market. I have a toaster oven, it's broken. Um, but you seem to want the oven kind, which is different than the basket kind. Yeah, I definitely am more gravitating towards something that I can use as an oven also. I'd rather get a toaster oven than an air fryer. Good to know. But what I do go to America's Test Kitchen YouTube and see all their favorite models. Oh my God. No, I love America's Test Kitchen. That's like, I don't, let me, I'll say this about America's Test Kitchen. I, I think, I think there's downsides to it. I think that there's always things to improve, but I do think that and we've talked about this before, how they like pretend to do the scientific method, but don't actually do the scientific method. But like, to me, that's sort of good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like they're doing some tests and they're writing notes about it, and that's really the thing I want. I don't need it to be completely in line with the scientific method, although they sort of purport that they do, which is a bit disingenuous. I forget when we were talking about this, but I know this came up. The test kitchen, like pretending to be scientists has come up before. I think that might have been when my friend Drew was here. I think he was talking about how he doesn't like them. I was literally just talking with him about that this weekend too. So maybe it's just fresh in my head. Liz, welcome in. Happy first day of spring. Happy first day of spring to you too. Happy, happy first day of spring. They have toaster ovens and air fryers in one fish stick. Yeah, that is my goal. Um, and tea powder, but I kind of do that. That's similar. That's my similar technique. Just gotta, if you're doing it in the cast iron, you just gotta babysit it. That's all. I linked mine on Discord. Thank you. Yeah, Trinderella, what you're talking about with the shelves sounds more like what I'm looking for. I was looking at my friends the other day. I was over at her house, and she was showing me the air fryer because she was making dinner for the kids in it, and it was the basket one, and I was like, I don't know, I don't know if I like this or not. So it's good to know that there's different options out there. I've never really researched it. I'm like aware that there's different options, but only aware from like hearsay or hear right. What do you call it when someone writes something? Is that hearsay? Anyway, Liz, I bet. Good. I'm glad you're finished. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you for coming through. The Dork will claim Mythbusters Test Kitchen style science is good enough for most people. That's kind of my point. It's good enough for me. I think academic science is good for informing the pop science when it comes to actually educating people. Yeah, I think that it's fine. It's like it's just good enough. It's like, all right, I can see that you did some testing. You've justified that you did some testing. That's just fine. I'll take it. I don't need you to be purely scientific method, you know? I got my Ninja air fryer for cheap. I figured for like $40 I'd give it a shot. It was on sale at a certain website. That is a great reason to get a model because it's just on sale. You inherited one. It was super cheap. Like, that's fun. I gave my basket one away and got this one instead. Why have two? As is a basket style, and it's very hard to flip a sandwich in it. Okay. Yeah. See, that to me, I'm like, the thing that I would say, I feel like the basket does seem like it might be good for is like fries, like just kind of giving it a toss. You know, you're sort of like, you don't need it to be exact. A sandwich, you couldn't really toss it. um, you can get a toaster oven and air fryer combo. My friend has one. That's where my head is at. I worry about multi-use stuff like that in general, just because it's like, well, you know, how's it going to be good at everything? You know, how could it possibly be good at all these things? This is kind of where my head goes. Okay, so let's do this. Pasta's done. Um, Let me clear my counter off here real quick, and then we'll check in before we move elsewhere. You, nope, don't tip. I gotta grab it first. I can't. Uh, yeah. So of all the things that I've used today, I have my bench scraper, a plastic spoon, the food mill, and my cutting board, and the knife are the only things that are actually getting hand washed today. And this mat. I don't put this mat in the dishwasher, but I don't actually. It might be dishwasher safe, but why would you put it in there? Why would you? How could you put it in the dishwasher? I've been seeing lots of air fryers and instant pots at thrift shops lately too. Interesting. Nice entry point if you're curious and don't want to spend a lot. I'm curious why they're at thrift shops personally, but uh, maybe it's because someone got a new one and return and and couldn't return it, so they just gave it away, which is fine. I I would be a little skeptical about buying something. I'm always a little skeptical about buying electronics at a thrift shop because I'm like, why is this here? Why is this here? Air fryers and instant pots felt very fad to me. Yes, and the instant pot felt like an exact. It felt like a fad to me. I did not buy one, and I was explicitly like, I'm never buying one of these. And then I got one as a gift, so I was like, okay, now I have one, and I use it for. I use it very rarely. I use it for primarily the thing that I use it for the absolute most is making egg salad, like making an egg loaf. Like literally, it's the past 4 times I've used it. It's probably good for that. Let's turn this sauce back on. Sauce on, water up. Okay, water's just boiling over here, so that's fine. Let's get the power cord out of the way. Sauce is back on. So we're gonna cook our shrimp in here first, and then cook the pasta. And then we'll be finished. Will you cook the shrimp before you finish the pasta? Did you, Harley? I will. I'm gonna cook the shrimp next. I'm just gonna wait. I'm waiting for that sauce to come back up to warm. I didn't like my mom's instant pot, and it really sealed a no from me. Yeah, I think if you're not used to cooking with it, it's like, why would you, like I'm not going to buy one and change my cooking style. I think the air fryer for me is more like I would like to something that Calvin can use that will also provide a little additional convenience for me excuse me, at certain times. We've definitely donated small appliances when we moved cross country, so perfectly good stuff is in the trip. Good point. Yeah, I've honestly I've never bought. I don't think I bought an electronic item like that at a thrift store, but I also when I'm thinking about the appliances I own, I don't know that I've actually purchased most of them. Our KitchenAid was a gift. Our food processor was a gift. Um, the Ninja blender, like the blender, was a gift. I bought the hand mixer. I bought the hand mixer when I was 19. I had the hand mixer in college, so it's old. Um, yeah, I've just never bought. I've never like gone looking for something at a thrift store. But I can't remember the last time I went looking to buy an electronic like that. Oh, the juicer too. That was also a gift. I have used that juicer. That juicer is something I should definitely give to a thrift shop. I've used it all of twice, and it was 2 days in a row the day after I got it. And it has not been used since. The heck am I going to use a juicer for? All right. This is warm, warm. Oh, that is so tasty. Let's get I didn't taste this after I put the Al Pastor sauce in, did I? No. Let me answer that for you. No, I did not. All right. That sauce I made did exactly what I wanted it to do, which was temper the spiciness of the Al Pastor sauce. Because I got the Al Pastor and it was like hot, very hot. This is a little bit subdued from that. So let's drop these shrimp in here along with the rest of the sauce from the marinade. because, you know, and we'll let these cook. I've got this on high at the moment. So these should take maybe 10 minutes or so to cook. And then as soon as they're done, we'll drop the pasta in, cook that for like 3 minutes, put the pasta from here into here, and then we'll be finished. That'll be dinner. Put it in bowls, top it with the little stuff over here. So let me do a couple things. I'm just going to put a few things away over here. I'm going to put my flour away. I'm going to put the pasta roller back in its authentically Italian box and put that back in the cabinet. Um, I'm trying to, I've said this before, I'm trying to clean a little, very, very little bit, or at least put stuff away while I'm on screen. The cast iron pan collection, I did not put anything in the oven, so these can just go back in the oven and turn that off. And what else can I clean up here? Don't need the scale. All right, sauces now bubbling again, and my shrimp is already starting to look a little opaque, which is great. So I marinated these, but I'm also cooking them in the sauce. So maybe I didn't need to marinate them, but whatever. Whatever. Let's get a little pasta in here too. Second flavor, it is going. It's going well. How's it going? I left for a bit to make my own dinner. What did you have? What did you make? And you made it pretty quick. If you were making dinner, if you left and came back and made dinner in that time, congratulations. I was thinking to myself the other day how I used to do a lot more like prep, like meal prep, and cook dinner a lot quicker. But since I started streaming, I've been a lot less done a lot less of that and a lot more of the prepping it and cooking it on the same time. And I'm a little like, man, it was so easy to cook dinner in like 10 minutes when you just do all the work ahead of time. When you spend 4 hours on a Sunday in the kitchen, you know? I made Cajun chicken pasta with Alfredo and cheese tortellini with roasted broccoli. Let me read that again. Cajun chickens, pasta with Cajun chicken. So spicy chicken with Alfredo and cheese tortellini with roasted broccoli. Excellent. That sounds great. Spiciness and cream sauce are such a good combination. That's like one of my favorite things. I love that so much. Um, I wasn't timing the shrimp, but it'll be done. It'll be done when it's done. It's my partner's favorite dinner. Isn't that nice? Very nice of you. Very nice of you to make someone's favorite dinner for them. Like I like makes it feels good to make it too, doesn't it? Because you just know someone's going to like it. I think there's something about making something that you know someone loves that you know how to make, and like your version of that thing is what they love. Is like I love that feeling. I love that feeling so much because you're like, yes, this thing that they love is the thing is they love it because I make it this way. And I that is such an amazing feeling. I do that often for my girlfriend. Yeah, Velas, you're always cooking. I feel like you have a really good. I feel like your relationship has a good like culinary focus on it, which is really quite lovely. I'm just getting at some bowls here. So sauce is going. Uh, Forks, big forks. Um, it's funny. We use little total aside. So we have two different the forks at our house. I think I've talked about this before, but we usually use the salad forks to eat with. And it's funny because the other day Calvin was saying how like these forks are weird and not normal. And I was like, dude, that's an actual dinner fork. Like this is what you're supposed to be using. We use these because they're salad forks and I like them better because you can scoop stuff with them. All right, shrimp is just about finished here. So I'm going to turn the sauce down a little bit. Turn the sauce down and let's put the pasta on. Let's put the pasta in. Okay, we're going to go. Let's change this. Can we get both pots in that view? No. Nope. Okay, let's just look at the pasta then. Um, okay. I have to. I always use a salad fork. Shayna, me too. Well, we are both foodies, which is nice. And yes, the key is broccoli being roasted, chicken in the air fryer, and then you just prep the sauce and cheese tortellini. It takes 3 minutes to cook. Yeah, the prep is what does it. Um, I'm a full-grown adult and I prefer small forks. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that too. I have to feed myself anyway, so I don't mind taking requests. Good attitude. I don't have a preference, but I know a lot of people do. Yeah, the fork thing is kind of funny. I feel like I've been using a salad fork my whole life, and now it's just the type of fork that I use. Okay, some let's put some pasta in here. Is that the right one? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we're gonna get our pasta and start dropping this in. Let's give this a little stir here. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. One, two piles in, three piles in, four piles in. Oh, okay. That last one got a little sticky on me. Okay. Now these are going to cook very quickly. So I'm not even gonna walk away from these. I also didn't make my pasta from scratch like you did. Yeah, that definitely takes a little time. The scratch part of it is completely unnecessary. I just enjoy it. Okay, sauce. Sauce is good. Sauce is very saucy, so I'm happy about that. Shrimp is definitely done. These guys are looking good. So let's start getting some of these noodles out of here. Actually, let me grab one of these and test it real quick. Oop, maybe not. Hmm, worse. Okay. Okay. Let me test this real quick here. Hmm, salty, good, and finished. Totally get it. There's a time and place for scratch and a time and place for pre-made. Yes. I had work and PT today, so needed the easy factor. Yeah, huge. But the La Molisana pasta and pretend I hand I made the La Molisana pasta and pretend I handmade it. Perfect. These noodles look great. They taste good. They taste good too, importantly. Okay, so we're gonna mix. I'm mixing these in. This is not the right thing to grab these with, by the way. This is quite the wrong thing to be picking these up with. This spider here, but I'm committed to it. I'm committed to the bit. Jen, hello. Happy Monday to you too. Happy Monday indeed. All right. Almost there. And I'm just stirring these in this other pot with my right hand. Okay, I think that's it. Now the spider will not go in the dishwasher, to be clear. Okay, let's move